Hey everybody, welcome to the SketchCraft morning podcast. This is Rob. SketchCraft. Duenas. Joining me on this podcast is Brandon Mega Potato James. Brandon, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hey Brandon, did you know that as I speak right now, it is currently not the morning?
What?
Can you believe that? We're doing a morning
Well,
podcast, but it's not the morning.
seeing as how me and you never leave our place of residence, I believe it because I don't know what the day is most of the time anyways anymore, so I believe it.
So actually, I bring it up because I was talking to Brandon. I decided to do a morning podcast for, I don't know, what, 3 or 4 months now. I
Yes.
wanted to gauge what the engagement rate. Does that make sense? I wanted to
Sounds
gauge,
about right.
yeah. So I wanted to gauge the activity, how things worked. If I saw any increase in viewership, any increase in anything, I cut it down to 24 minutes. And I did it 3 times a week, then I did it 2 times a week, and then I did it 1 time a week, and I never told any of you what I was up to. And so it's been a month. I wanted to see if anything would change. Nothing's changed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I do one a month, if I do 3 a week, if I do five, what daily. It's irrelevant. Doesn't matter what I talk about. Doesn't matter if I'm by myself, I'm with you. I think the thing to remember is, like, when I do it first thing in the morning, if you listen to those podcasts, some people are telling me that it sounds like an ASMR. You know what that means, ASMR?
Nope.
That's that, like, you ever hear those audios, like that 3D audio where they go, Brandon, this is Rob, I'm right at the microphone, you can hear me. Like that. I get a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
that. Like, it sounds like that. They don't understand how incredibly fucking groggy I sound for the first 4 hours of the day. Like, Brandon, you're one of the few people who've seen me first thing.
Yes. As creepily as creepy as that sounds, yes, I have seen Rob and his morning ritual habitat, whatever you want to call it. I've seen Rob wake up at my place. I've seen Rob waking up at work. I've seen you.
And
I've seen you.
I can wake up and not talk for 4 hours, right?
Yep. I've
Because
seen you do it at work.
I do not talk well first thing in the morning. I don't do it, folks. I sound like a hungover Christian Slater. Hey man, Brandon, I don't really know.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right,
Yeah.
you know. And then I like react to everything overly. Like you'll reach out to say hey, and I'll like throw a rock at you. So it's pretty crazy. So here's the thing. I like the podcast not moving at a million miles per second. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't like zipping through topics. I don't like it. So, what I'm going to try to do for the foreseeable future is Friday nights, we're going to do a Sketchcraft midnight podcast. I'll change the graphic and I'll say midnight on there. See if I can change his colors a little bit. Maybe I'll find something where I'll
You
draw her to
know,
sleep or something.
the fact that you said Friday night, I still didn't realize that it was Friday night. It took me a second to be like, why are we doing it right now? And then I was like, oh, Friday night.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, I a couple weeks ago had a pretty, I don't know if it's major surgery, but it was pretty surgery had determined my arm.
Why are we
And
making this about you, Brandon? We're talking about me.
well, my point is, and so I have not really left my house much, and therefore I don't know what day it is most of the time unless someone posts something like Motivational Monday, and I'm like, oh, that's right, it's Monday.
Well, this gets back to whenever I talk to you when you're normally working, and you're like, "Yeah, it's Thursday." I'm like, "I don't know what day it is.
All right.
I just know when it's day or night, and it's only because I leave the house." Like my room is set up so I have those blinds that block sunlight. So
Uh-huh.
I really can't tell what time of day it is. It's the same time in this room. Time stands still in the sketch cave where I'm at. So, uh, yeah, that's. But what I was trying to get back to, Brandon, before you derailed the entire fucking show, is that having listened, like I pay for podcasts. I pay for Liam Robertson's podcast on Patreon. I pay for Cinephiles podcast on Patreon, and then I support the Schmodown, which they do the podcast, but pretty much is for the show. That's two podcasts I spend money on monthly, and I buy Dan Carlin stuff whenever he puts them up to support Dan Carlin. And when Joe Rogan comes down, I pay for Joe Rogan tickets.
You
So
gotta.
yeah. So I pay back. That being said, when I do find a podcast I like to listen to, what I have found is that I do not enjoy podcasts where it's like, Brandon, here's my joke. Like it's, or they're just laughing at themselves all fucking day. Like I don't wanna do all that. So
Hmm.
I want a conscious effort, Brandon, for us to not be so impressed with ourselves. Now that's gonna be hard for you because
I
anytime you
love
do
myself.
anything, you're very congratulatory of yourself.
I'll pat myself on the back for patting myself on the back.
That's I got a few episodes to prove it. So that being said, too, I want you to take your time to explain yourself, right? Like there are times, man, when I brought you on, you just been okay, Rob. So I just saw Batman v Superman. I was like, chill the fuck out, chill out. So no drinking lots of caffeine, Brandon, before you do podcasts.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
that's tough.
I don't
It's
want people.
tough.
I don't want people to feel. There's. I watched a movie trivia Schmoedowns. It's one part uh, game show, movie trivia show, one part WWF, where they got these fictional storylines going on. But one of the guys that's on there, he's also on Collider Heroes. His name is Coy. Now he's a good dude, big Deadpool fan, big Marvel guy. But Coy just fucking talks like the Micro Machines guy. You remember that guy? Remember the guy from the Micro Machines commercials?
It's
Um,
been a while.
yeah, he did did you ever see the Transformers movie from the 80s? He did that robot
Hmm.
that talked really fast because
Oh, okay.
he was just talking really fast. And so I just know the weird part about me, folks, is that for the first 4 or 6 hours of the day, I have zero energy. And then around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I get real amped up. All right, Brandon, you've seen it. You've
Oh yeah.
seen me just like, where is all this coming from? It's somewhat fun to annoy you personally when you have no energy at the end of the day because you've been working for a living, and
Hmm.
I'm like, going off.
Singing,
Yeah.
making jokes, happy
S-
go lucky.
So one of the things I personally took away from doing the morning podcast was I like the chiller vibe. So, but the problem, folks, is I can't. One of the things I'm coming up to grips with is like I've been solidifying my work schedule, and I've been pretty good at it with repetition and doing certain things, but I don't enjoy talking first thing in the morning, and I don't enjoy drawing first thing in the morning. So I do graphic design first thing in the morning, and then I go and do the commissions, and then I've been doing my freelance, and then I go make dinner, and then I come back and work on freelance. And I'm supposed to spend the last hour or two of the night working on PowerPrints until I'm done with uh, extended freelance work. So that's all working, but podcast just got cut right the freak out. So it's not good. It's not good. And why even do a podcast, Brandon? Brandon, why even do one? What's the point?
Because they're fun and we get to talk about life and things.
Mostly, I think, because people like it when I make fun of you. I think that's true. I know because people go, I miss it when you make fun of Brandon.
Mm.
So, you know, that's why you're here.
At least I bring some to the table myself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But that's
mm-hmm.
about it.
Yeah. So, what has been going on? What has been going on? Too much. Too much has been going on. For me, too much. Too much has been going on. So let's take a gander. I've been working. I got to start up Megavisions issue 7. You know what Megavisions is, Brandon?
What is that?
So this magazine that I art direct now. I don't know how I got stuck doing that. Oh, I know. I volunteered, and and yeah, and so I start that after this week. So I did this preview issue for E3, and me and the Sega dudes went down. These guys at SegaNerds.com, they started making a digital magazine called Megavisions, which I've been doing the covers for about 18 months now. And now they're going to a print magazine. They got a Patreon. And when they showed me the magazine that they were making, I replied, please don't make that. The reason why it was like them rebuilding what I had to do with GameFan
Uh-huh.
and InDesign. I was like, first, making GameFan was incredibly difficult and irresponsible, and I don't wish that upon anybody. Two, it can't be done in InDesign, and it didn't look good. So I have, a version of a game magazine. I've been working on 4 or 5 different versions of game magazines for several years now in my free time because I'm special in the head. And so,
You're a glutton for punishment.
yeah, well, and so I produced this thing and they liked it. And so we built a 36-page preview, which is half the amount of content they want for a full issue. For E3, then we all went to E3, showed it to all their clients and Sega dudes and everyone they know. And now they launched the Patreon.
Thanks for the copy, by the way.
Oh yeah, I gave you one, right?
No, you didn't.
I didn't give your wife one?
Nope.
Huh.
All that driving, couldn't even get a copy.
Huh.
I'll expect it in the mail with my check of $1 for my services rendered.
No. So, all that being said, now I got to go make the 7th issue because they did 6 digital ones, and now this is their first physical issue, but it's technically issue 7. And so what I have to do is take all the pages that I made for this preview, and I have to actually make them templates, like editable templates. And then I have to double the page count. So I got to extend certain reviews by 2 pages and then make all the pages so they have estimated word counts. So moving forward, they can tell the writers, we know we're going to plug them into this template and they're going to have this many words and they go write it and it's already figured out.
Oh,
So
nice.
I've been doing that off and on for the past week and a half. It's just taking me longer than I thought. And I'll be done sometime at the end of next week. And then I can go and make the issue. And when I'm done making the issue, then I can draw the cover. And then we get to ship it. And then get a month off and do it all over again. That's basically it. So they're anticipating a bi-monthly schedule. I told them, that's good. Good for you. You plan that. Well, I'm going to try. It's going to be off a little bit here and there until all the templates are, what's the word I'm thinking of? Streamlined or solidified. Does that make sense? Like once the work is set up, so it's duplicatable, and then I just get to focus on nifty colors or a new creative thing per issue, it's going to take about 3 issues to get, I think, to a consistent bi-monthly schedule. That doesn't feel like everyone's constantly working. Because I told myself, I don't want to be working on this thing every day. I got other shit to do. So I think the thing is I would have, 2 weeks to lay out an issue in little thumbnails and then 2 weeks to make it. And then I have a month off. And then that month off, I would be doing commissions in the hours that I would normally be doing their work. Or working on Game Cave, either way. I think working on Game Cave is what I would be doing. So, that's that. That's what I've been up to. Been up to that and secret stuff for Toys for Bob I can't talk about. But I like to tell you all that I'm working on secret stuff. Is it cool, Brandon? If you've seen it, would you say it's cool?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I almost want to spoil it.
But you haven't seen it, right? But if you had seen it, you would say it was cool.
Right. When I know of it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it sounds cool.
Yeah. So I've been doing that, and we've been working on this Sonic commission. And by we, I mean, what the dude say? The dude say the pejorative we? The El Duderino.
I'm here spiritually. Yeah. You, Rob?
So we're working on the Sonic commission with color pencil. And any thoughts on that one, Brandon? Anything you want to give? Any feedback? Any advice?
I don't see any bent swords, so I'm good with it.
Is that a gay thing, or are you talking about art? Like
A little bit,
a little bit of both.
Also, a little bit of both. A little bit of also the time that you drew Link and everyone gave you such a hard time about the sword being curved.
Oh yeah, Brandon. So, but
Yeah.
that's going well. It's taking a while. I won't be doing backgrounds for commissions ever again. So I'm done with that. When I'm done with the Sonic commission, I'm gonna do this. I got some time allotted for developing painting on wood. I've been practicing in my free time here. So I'm thinking color pencil watercolor or an opaque gouache base. I haven't figured it out yet. There's going to be some mix of watercolor, airbrush, and color pencil on the wood. So I'll share more of that as I go along. But as Brandon, you know, I've been saying for a while now, I want to have something that can go on a wall and I can charge $1,000 for.
Yes.
And I sort of feel like the trick to all that isn't even how you draw. It's just what you put it on and how big you make it. Right? So
Sounds
wood
about
seems
right.
fancy enough. Like I mentioned to people and they go, "Oh wow, wood." And I'm like, paper's wood. When you think about it, just it's chewed up wood. Jerks. So working on that. And my other big thing is Game Cave. So finally got the template worked from an 8.5 by 11 to a 5.5 by 8.5, little digest size book. So moving on out, I can get that magazine part done and then just work on my graphic novels, literally graphic novels, comic / novel hybrid. Moving forward with everything. So many things, Brandon, right? So many things. Have I covered everything? Am I missing something? The Darksider's been working on that.
You didn't ask me what I've been up to.
I don't care what you've been doing. You've been sick. Brandon hurt. Look, guys, here's the deal. Brandon has a job where he moves things. Brandon fell down, hurt his arm. Brandon had to get surgery and screwed up my whole schedule for E3 and made his poor wife drive all the way out because he had to get surgery to fix his messed up gimp arm. Now he's gimping around for what? Another 2 months before you can go back to work?
No. Couple
No?
weeks.
Couple weeks.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
All right. And now you're going to be looking for new work, right?
Yeah, probably. We'll
Yeah,
see.
probably. Yeah, because you can only move things for so long, right? Like you're in your 30s, right?
33.
33, yeah, you're in your 30s, man. You're gonna be 34 this year, and you're still moving furniture.
No, I just turned 33. I got a whole nother year to go before I'm
It's an
34.
honorable profession, but just I imagine the injuries are gonna stack up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you lift an Xbox one day, it's gonna come down and get you. You know, especially the old Xbox, the Duke.
Yeah.
So that's what you've been doing. And your wife's been working on 3D stuff, which we got to wrap up soon. So she sent me a bunch of renders. I got to do concept art because I think I've screwed up the scale on the castle, and I want to figure out a way on that castle to fix it without redoing the model because I could just hear the stress in her voice. And I'm like, I wonder if I screwed that scale up. She's like, I can hear the stress. So yeah, I got to get creative with that. Um, Brandon, what did you think of the Game Cave? I put up a. So, folks, here's the thing on the Instagram. I do the 60-second podcast. We put them here on the YouTube channel under the playlist 60-second podcast. Pretty soon, Brandon, we're going to be starting up a separate page on YouTube just for 60-second podcast, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be branded 60-second podcast. Brandon's going to have to re-upload everything that he's already uploaded in order.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that fast, too, by
Which
the way.
you made me redo that like 3 times too. The one that's already up.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, no, I don't like the wording on that one. Redo that one. And then I had to do it again. Like, no,
Well, now
I
you
don't
just
like
get to
the.
copy it over. So just get it done in August and it'll be done. And then we'll get that going. And I've been doing an extended edition of the 60-second podcast on Instagram TV and that Facebook page. So you know what Instagram TV is?
Kind of, yeah.
So on Instagram, you can put up these longer videos. We
Hmm.
call them Instagram TV. So I've been putting up 5-minute long versions there. And really quickly, Brandon, did you see the Game Cave stuff I was doing? with the concept art
there
we're
was
doing?
the stuff you showed me, or the stuff that you
Yeah,
posted
it's the
on
same
it?
stuff I showed you.
Oh yeah. Which is a much better, I want to say, formula, or a better way to produce it, and the look of it just looks a lot cooler. And I like the sizing of everything.
I appreciate it. Let's go really quick to the chat and see who's been talking. Oh, we haven't seen Francesca in a while. If ever. Who am I thinking? Francesco. I can't remember. Armando, Francesco.
You're thinking of Francesco. Anyways, Francesca says, all the stress from 3D models, I personally understand. So I'm guessing Francesco works with 3D models, maybe Maya, maybe ZBrush.
Yeah, well, what's really funny about the 3D model thing was, so your wife came back to me and asked me about Unity, and she saw this like all these pre-made Unity assets for things, and she's like, "How come we haven't been working in Unity?" And I'm like, "Because you learning how to do low poly modeling properly and learning a three-dimensional engine, a real-time engine, I just figured that'd be too. Plus, Unreal 4 has a free license, so like I told her, I said I'm aware of all these things. We needed to get her down to being able to learn how to model, how to instance. So she's only building parts of models and then duplicating them and instancing those parts. And so next she has to do. She'll be learning, 3D unwrapping, and then I was thinking about doing painted textures, but we might do pixel textures in the future, like Mega Man Legends. That way she can do texturing, or you could too. The pixel textures you guys can do. Like I can do concept art and you can look at it, pixelize the concept art. So it's a matter of figuring out, folks, how to do the work of 10 people with 2 or 3.
Yeah. Francesca says, I'm a Maya student working on a 3D animation degree. It's much work, but they accepted my portfolio, so I'm excited for that. Congrats.
Congrats. Hope you're having a good time with Maya. That's what I got. Jam Arts. If you want to see any of the stuff, Francesca, there's a Game Cave development blog playlist in my playlists, and you can see the stuff that I've worked on there. Most recently, some of the models we're doing, and then Monday night, I'll have Jam Artsy on again, and we'll get an update, see where she's at. And do you hear that? Do you hear that, Brandon? No, you don't hear that. That is the sound of the music closing out the SketchCraft morning podcast. We're about done. Brandon, where can people bug you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at LeadHeavy, L-E-A-D Heavy.
And folks, you can find me here daily working on the commissions. To see the Sonic stuff, all the real-time videos are up. You can check out everything else on Instagram, everything else. What else can you do?
Links below. You go to shopsketchcraft.com.
And that's where you can buy stuff. Did you know that, Brandon?
What? I'm going to go there right now.
You can buy stuff right there on shopsketchcraft.com.
I bought so much that Rob's cut me off.
I cut Brandon off. He bought too much stuff. I said no more for Brandon.
No mas.
You all can buy stuff, just not him. All right, Brandon, that's it. I need to say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow.